Welcome back to the Modern Kingsman podcast. Today, we have our special guest returning today, Joshua. Thank you for joining us again.
Thanks for having me.
So today, we are going to have a bit of a fun discussion here. You know, the year's mostly over.
Wild.
It is kind of insane here. We are almost in the 9th month.
Mm-hmm.
Where has the year gone? Like, I thought really, it seemed like yesterday was snow. But now the kids are going back to school already.
It's true. It's true.
There's floods happening.
Can't run past those school zones anymore because the cops are going to be sitting out.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the floods. That's crazy.
Yeah, school zones and floods. Actually, some schools are now delayed and canceled. They're not starting yet.
I believe it. We were on our way to a doctor's appointment.
In our day, you know what? We would have went.
Got that kayak off the top of the car and just went on past.
Absolutely. And you know what? You know what our parents would have done? They would have went anyway. Barefoot.
Uphill.
Both ways.
In the snow.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of June.
If you ever really want to know why your grandparents were able to do that, just look up the original recipe for Coca-Cola. So none of that is at all what we're discussing today. But what we're actually going to be discussing is, with the year mostly over at this point here, what are the biggest challenges men face in 2026? That's the topic for the day.
That's a good topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good topic.
I mean, prior to this filming here, we started a 90-minute discussion on things men face. None of it was actually helpful for what the topic we have here today. But so it's possible the biggest challenges we have are communication.
That's not been my experience.
Those who talk to you would say it is
It's not what I really got from them. They're all just kind of like, yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unquestioned, right?
Yeah, unquestioned. It's mainly what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe other people have issues.
Other people have issues. Be the reason someone face palms tomorrow. All right. All right. So we have a couple items of discussion here that we feel is the biggest challenges men currently face in 2026, regardless of age, but sometimes you get a little specific on this one. What do you think should go at the top of this list? What is the biggest challenges men face in 2026?
That is a good question. I didn't think about the top one. I would say the top one, in my opinion, is probably a hopeless future. The idea that there is no point in doing anything because either we're going to fail. I mean, that's just normal fear of failure that everyone's faced at some point. But even more so because now you're competing against AI. You're competing against people on the other side of the world, other side of the country, to do any given task. The economy seems like it's going to crap no matter who's president. That's the vibe that is being given off. Just you can't pick up women if you're a dude, like because you're competing with freaking models on Instagram and social media, just social media generally. So like, what does a man really have to give when there's every future you're being replaced by something, whether it's automation, AI, or social media? Like, hopeless future seems to me to be the top because it affects every other thing.
I don't know about you guys, but you just feel uplifted right now.
That's what I was saying, and I'm like, wow, this is really sad.
This took a turn. I mean, I was here to talk about challenges. Now I'm like, oh my golly, I gotta dig myself out of a hole here. Okay, but no, the vibe.
The vibe. Yep.
The vibe is there is an online sense of vibed hopelessness.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. And is it warranted?
Partially,
yes, absolutely.
I
There
think
is some truth in this,
yeah.
But it's not hopeless in just the straight black and white that it is. We are in a new part of human history here.
Mm-hmm.
The challenges we face, in some ways, are different and harder and some easier than any time in human history before that. You brought up AI. No one in all of human history has ever competed against this.
Mm-hmm.
We honestly have no clue how this is going to help us or hurt us yet. It's too new.
Mm-hmm.
So, men, all right. So, hopeless future.
Yep.
That's huge.
I think that the the issue with the hopeless future argument or idea, in my opinion, is it actually points out the truth, but it doesn't conclude the right thing. And what I mean is, like, to me, these are always the hardest situations I personally tend to fall into. Is where something is factually true, but you have to have wisdom to figure out what to do with that. So the fact is that AI is going to replace a lot. As somebody in the tech field, I have literally watched, like, my boss using, just him by himself, using one program replace or do 8 days worth of work, like 8 full days worth of work that we already knew how long it took, and it did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already seen. So true, AI will replace tons and tons and tons of stuff, no doubt. Competition with social media, like, we're already seeing that. Like, you can experience that yourself. I mean, that's not definitely a man only thing, but like women and men can both struggle with that. Then I had a third thing that I forgot. Shoot, whatever the third thing was. Like, they're all factually true. But we also tend to think that we're the financial. I think the financial aspect, the economy, like, everything
feels. Things are expensive.
Yeah, things are expensive, and minimum wage compared to buying a house are so different if you look at the charts and all that kind of stuff. So there definitely are issues, and all of those things are technically true. But what do you conclude from that? Is it just you give up and that everything's hopeless? But every generation, like you just said, has had its own issues. Ours seem big, and there's a lot of them, and they're all big. But reminder, there was a plague that took out a third of Europe. It's pretty big.
So close.
So close.
Sorry, Europe.
But the conclusion is, and this isn't even like a comforting conclusion, in my opinion. It's just like the facts of the matter is everybody thought that their thing was the end all be all, but it never has been. Like, there is always, like, all the factory jobs or a lot of the factory jobs got replaced at some point with machines. That's true. And now then there was the internet and lots of things, like the comforting thing, unfortunately, isn't like, here's a stat and here's a chart that's going to show everything to be okay, because things are going to get rough, obviously, and they are rough. But the overall principle of all of history is that it kept moving. Like, humans are still here. Humans will always still be here. And every generation thought the same thing.
What was the biggest problem but prior to the automobile, when we were in more of a horse society? The biggest problem in the city was where to put all the horse mess.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess that's fair. That makes sense.
Right? And there's a whole bustling industry of removal of horse stuff.
That's interesting.
Right? Interesting little topic there. But then we have cars. We don't deal with that now.
That's true.
Things keep changing. I don't know why I use that as the example. I heard it on a story earlier today, and apparently I just got to get that out.
It's just, you just got to tell somebody that.
Yeah. Ah, man, there's a really funny reference with that, and I can't think of what it is. Irrelevant. But yes, so, and one thing I think that does make the hopeless future item much worse is the fact that we can see it, and it's being thrown in our face every day. So, for example, let's say I run a news agency, which of these stories is going to get more views? Father goes to work and comes home. Story 1. Story 2. Desperate father doesn't come home and works all night and gets in a car wreck and everything's really sad.
Probably number 2.
Probably number 2.
Yeah.
negative stuff draws us in and we hear about it. And, prior to the internet, and if you wanted to get a hold of us in the 80s, you had like 3 options. You could write me a letter. You could come to my house. You could call the home phone. That was it. Which means I only ever got news from like 3 sources. The TV, not the telegram, but the radio and newspaper. That's it. And word of mouth. Now, we hear news all the time from everywhere, no matter where we go.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know how many of those people are all, like, we have 3 friends tell us something bad's happening. In our mind, we hear it 3 different times. If they're all referencing the same thing, it's one story. Not 3, but it feels like 3. It's like, oh, everyone's talking about it. It's 3. They're horrible. No. It was the same story told 3 times. It's important to really bring that into context there. That's rough. Yeah. So dudes do feel hopeless. I like what you said. It is, you can have a fact that's true, but that doesn't mean the conclusion is correct.
Yeah. I think that
That's huge.
I think that we tend to get so focused on like the detail that we don't look at the trajectory. Like, I mean, with if you look at a stock market graph or whatever, like for the S&P 500, like if you're looking at like one day, or maybe I don't know that much about it, but like if you look at a small period of time, it's like, oh man, this is all over the place. But then if you look at the long trail of it, it is all up. Obviously, that doesn't even tell the entire story because there are dips here and there if you zoom in slightly. But on just like a 10,000 foot view, it only shows one direction. So I think that we get so caught in the weeds that we forget looking at the overall, the bigger story of history, which is we've survived and we've had new technology and we've survived and we've thrived, and all of it, not all of it, but a lot of it has helped and led actually to better places. So the future doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but it wasn't perfect before. And if we look into the past and like idealize the 50s and the man goes to work with his 2.5 children at home and his wife stays and bakes bread all day, like the traditionalist view. That's not how it was back then. They had their own issues. It wasn't just everything great. If anything, we are living better lives than anybody else in history, like just on like a technical basis. But it's just, we tend to get caught in the weeds and then look at the past and say, oh, they had it so much better. They had their own problems. Like, I have diabetes. You know what happened 100 years ago to diabetics? It wasn't great.
That's kind of where we got the name diabetes.
It's true. That's not true. Just to be clear, it's not true.
That's not where it came from?
That's not where it came. Well, technically it could have been. I don't think so, but I haven't actually looked into it myself.
Facts. Now, so it is all, I really like, pulling back, getting a different perspective, getting out of your head is super helpful there. Also, usually you'll see people who quote those one-off stats and then be like, all right, this is the reason I'm failing. And they'll just use 1 or 2 of it. They have to use 5. And they're all true statements. It fits what they want the conclusion to be. You can have the same exact situation happen have the same thing happen exactly the same way, but if you are aiming for something different, entirely different things are happening. For example, if I'm just walking across the room and I'm just trying to get A to B, if you're in front of me, you are now no longer a person. You're an obstacle in my way. If what's at the outside of the room is my kids falling. If I'm just going to the fridge to get a drink, you're in my way. Not a big deal. Same exact items happening. I'm just moving from A to B. But the reason I see you being there is different. One of them is you're blocking me from saving my child. And one's you didn't even notice that I was walking through and you stopped from getting a drink. Same exact thing, but how I choose to view it is very different.
That's true. That's true.
We see the world as the object in our way or as a way to connect our dots forward based on the path that we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
If my mental, and this is, it gets a little too name it, claim it when you start talking about these things. But if your goal is to, make sales,
Mm-hmm.
then everyone you meet is a potential customer.
I mean, that fair enough.
If your goal is to not talk to anybody, then everyone you meet is they want to talk to you. They want to bug me and all that. No.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you see is really how you start to view other people. There's a really good Key and Peele skit, and it's them texting back and forth.
Oh, yeah. That's a
It's
great one.
hilarious because, he says, nah, it's all good, bro. I don't care. And
You don't care.
yeah.
The heck's this guy's problem?
Yep. Meet you over there. Yeah, I'll meet you over there. It's we read in to each of these situations, sometimes truth, and sometimes it's what we want it to be. Because guess what? If everything is hopeless and negative, then it actually gives us kind of permission to be down, be lazy, not try.
Mm-hmm.
Because how could you possibly try? The whole world's against you. Didn't you hear X, Y, and Z is happening? There's wars and rumors of wars, and there's floods. And
Mm-hmm.
oh, you mean like there's always been? No, we don't talk about that. But you have to, like you said, you just gotta pull back.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have these, but just pull back.
Yeah.
Where were you a year ago? Where were you 5 years ago? What did you do for these daily little things to help work you through it?
Yeah.
To get out of that really negative, hopeless time there. I spent quite a few years in a negative mental tailspin.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a hard event followed by daily choices for 3 to 5 years
Mm-hmm.
to get those negative voices to stop talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
But and guess what? I had logical facts there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought they were logical. Were they? It's a whole discussion here.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's a big challenge, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's that scene from Lord of the Rings, which is just, well, actually, a couple that gets just watch all the movies, extended edition, just like straight through to help all
Take
of
off work tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't need work compared to that. But no, there's
I don't know. I mean, what price can you put on inspiration?
that's what my man. No, that's what no, but there's that scene from Lord of the Rings where shoot, I wish I could remember what it was. I think it was Sam and Frodo talking, but it might have been Gandalf and Frodo. But essentially, it's like they're having this thing where it's like, Sam said it. He's like, by right, we shouldn't even be here.
Yes, they're on the path to Mordor.
Yeah, and it's just like it's the darkest moment of the movie. Essentially, one of the darkest moments. Gosh, it's such a good show, movie. Really epic, but it's like by right we shouldn't even be here. But I'm mixing up all of my analogies and stuff. But essentially, but you are here, and even shoot, I'm really upset that I can't remember the second part. I'm going to go ahead and jump to my other example of Esther and Mordecai in the Bible, in the book of Esther, where Mordecai says, maybe you were put here for such a time as this.
Mm-hmm.
So like flipping this hopeless future thing, like if you have a biblical worldview or a Christian worldview,
One might even say those are the same.
that's true. If you have that kind of worldview, well, it's the truth. But if you also believe that, it makes sense. Is that not like stop thinking about it like in the way of like, oh, I'm happen to be here in this time period, or maybe God intentionally thought, oh, you know who would be good in this time period in not 1950? Joshua would be good. Joseph would be good. Josiah would be good. You would be good. Like God had decided I could put you at a different time, but I'm going to actively decide to put you at this time because you have the thing that I need to do this particular part of the puzzle or of the act. So it's almost like it was intentional. And so imagine that for 1 second, how much confidence that can give somebody if they think they're actually intentionally put as part of the solution by something higher than them, by a God higher than them. The hopeless future, fair enough, all the stats are true, but you were the solution. That's why you're here. I think that's a good perspective.
Oh my golly, that got way deeper than I was imagining us going today. Dude, imagine walking into a sales meeting or just any meeting and be like, God sent me here. Be like, oh, I better work on my tone a little bit.
Yeah.
You better listen,
Yeah.
boss.
I'm just saying.
And actually, we have a good family friend who, one of the things he's known for is he'll say, you never know when you're walking into a divine meeting.
I've not heard this.
He's your friend's dad. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great one.
That is a fantastic statement that I've never heard before.
Huh. Well, there you go. Passing it forward. Yeah, so that's a really good one there. But yeah, take that mentality of, yeah, you weren't just chance that you were here. And you can't read everything into the following statement, but there's no Hebrew word for coincidence. So maybe it was intentional.
Yeah. I think it could have been.
I'm not going to say destined because that gets a little, but intentional.
Yeah. Not unplanned. How about that?
Ooh, I'm not uncertain that I shouldn't be here. Ooh, okay.
All right. So Joseph, let me ask you the question.
Mm-hmm.
What is what you would consider to be the number one, or if you agreed with me, the number two biggest challenge for men in 2026? Well, one, do you agree with me? And then two,
I think that
do you have a better one? In your
that
opinion?
one is really good. I'm going to put it at number 2 though. I mean, it was profound. Now, guess what? Here, mine's going to tiptoe through that one here.
Okay.
Lack of vision, which is kind of like, see, yours is, oh, they're hopeless. Now, mine's, they don't have hope. Very different. No, I'm kidding. But no, that's, yeah, as I was reading my notes here, I'm like, yeah, that's it. Because when you don't have a vision for the future, you are hopeless. It's a definition thing here.
That's fair.
Anyone who struggles with, how do you phrase this, dark mental thoughts is often because they cannot possibly see a future that they can reach. It's gone from them. And that falls into hopelessness, despair, and then the natural ending of those. It's a very clear item there. But then if you can see a future, if you can have hope, if it's something you can obtain, even possibly, that's what you go for there. And it pulls men out of there. But now,
that's a good point. I didn't think about it that way, but that's a very good point. It's a very strong number 2.
Thank you. But so since I can't really just say hopeless and lack of hope, I'm going to go with the biggest challenge is the constant ability to be distracted. And I'm talking about the phone.
Oh.
We have...
Excuse me.
Yeah. We have one of the greatest devices in all of human history. We have a tool that we could, like, calculate the circumference of Mars, and we use it to watch cat videos.
Obviously a much better thing to do than calculating the circumference of Mars.
No one cares about Mars. I mean, Pluto's not even a planet anymore.
Oh, please.
Always will be a planet. Hashtag I won't forget you. But yeah, I'd say the biggest challenge is the ease of distraction. And not all that's actually bad, because some of these things we're distracted by are things we're actually chasing good things on. and it can actually be divided attention. Could be one of the challenges, but I'm not going to call it number 2 or 3. That's probably like a 5.
Right. I think it's super profound because I think what it it actually is kind of a catch-22 in my opinion.
Mhm.
So like based on the stuff like I watch, I like watching, you know, cool things that I can't do, and obviously the dog videos or people falling down videos, but but like
We're just going to skim right over that, aren't we?
yep.
Off trampolines.
Oh, that's not as good as on ice, but still. But like so they tempt you with vision, but never allow you to make it there.
Mm.
So I'll watch these building videos and craftsman videos and stuff like that, using skills that I personally don't have, but because I'm watching the videos, I'm getting the like. I mean I think the science is behind this, but like I'll get the dopamine hit of that 15-second video or that minute-long video, and then I'm like, oh, I should do that, and then I save it or I write it down or I whatever, and then I never do it or even try to learn how to do it because the effort to actually accomplish that is not as great as the thought of actually doing it. And I believe that I was I was listening to something, and I believe it was saying that the reason why people start things but don't finish is because they get that dopamine hit or that initial feeding from the starting, but not the actual accomplishment or not the actual going through it. But then that also makes them feel worse. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to do all these things, but they don't ever do any of them. That's been my personal experience. But that's a distraction. If I just picked one of them and did it, it'd be much better than actually not doing 27 things that I found out that particular day. Man, if I did not, if I dedicated myself to just the stuff on guitar that I want to learn that I've seen, I would probably be a professional guitarist by now, versus the 18 topics that I have, 27 things per day per scrolling session, that distract me from actually doing anything. And that's not even talking about the notifications of like just like little 2-minute pings that you distract you. So I'm with you. I think that one is like a very tangible reality.
If you ever want to get a little bit upset at group messages, if you have 5 people in a group and you each send 3 texts in that group, that is 15 separate notifications. And that's a lot of people just looking away from whatever they're doing for each one of those. Dude, you get to control every group chat you're in. You control someone's life for 3 to 5 seconds. You put 20 people in there.
That's a great point.
That you got like a lot of power.
That's terrifying. See, this is where I get like people get all up in my space about this. Is I don't respond very well, just generally speaking, because I can feel my brain having to switch on and off, and it's not a comfortable feeling. So I don't respond all that often, and then I want to make sure I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing, so then I don't respond even longer, and then we're like 2 weeks later, and I'm just stressed out that I'm going to see this person in public and having ignored their 3 texts. So, yeah.
That's true. No, that's fair. Now, I think we would be remiss to not name men's actual biggest challenge in 2026. It's the same challenge that's vexed all men for like 6,000 years. Women. Yes, here's the end of the day. They're always the biggest challenge and one of the best rewards.
Wow.
Is that
very
is that
objectifying of
I
you.
know. Is that the word?
I think
What's the opposite word I'm looking for here?
Reward?
Yeah, is it reward? It doesn't sound right when I say it out loud.
It's because you're talking about a human. No, I think that is the correct word. The word, I believe, is reward.
Accomplishment?
No, it's reward.
It's reward.
It's reward. We're just not normally referencing human beings.
We don't talk about women.
I think that the idea is correct, though. It's yes, I believe the concept you're referring to is correct, because it's not an see, this is the thing that I don't think everyone understands, is that when let me have some caveats and some prefaces.
I am so excited for whatever you're about to say.
Good men with good intentions who truly love the woman they're pursuing, when they get the woman, get the girl, whatever, it is truly a reward. Like it's a reward for their accomplishments. Like they did something.
They slayed the dragon.
They slayed the dragon.
They conquered the village.
They conquered the. Oh my gosh! Let me stop it. No, but they won. They actually they attempted to do something, and their rewards were, or their efforts were rewarded by the love and affection of the woman.
Mhm.
And a guy values that, not in the same way of like oh, this is just one of the things I just won, but in a truly like. And I think this is where it gets missed again, with the caveats. Good men who truly love the person, they get to have a partner. And so that is a reward in itself. I hope that made sense. I'm pro women.
All I can hear is like Princess Jasmine yelling, saying, "I'm not a prize to be won."
Yeah, no, see, that's where I'm saying is she's wrong in the sense.
Oh my God.
She is incorrect in the sense of she doesn't understand what Aladdin is doing, assuming Aladdin is a good man who loves the woman
I mean, some
and wants
people
the best
say
for her.
that he was a riffraff.
Street rat.
I don't buy that.
No, it's to win a partner is a true reward and a gift from God. And
Truly, that is. Yes, this is the biggest challenge because no one can level you with a glance like your woman.
see, that's not been my experience. Let me explain. When I do something stupid, I don't look at her.
It's like you just know. It's
just
but
kidding.
no, I mean, because at the end of the day, who you choose to spend your life with is the most, next to your relationship with God, is your most important decision of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what job you're going to have for 2 to 3 years. Hashtag millennial life. It's not what car you're going to get. It's who you choose to spend your life with. And that will always pretty much be the challenge. And then trying to communicate. We left communication off of this list here, but that's kind of a big one too.
Oh, that's true. It literally took me getting married, which my wife may or may not watch this, and she will really appreciate this because of how true it is, is until I was married and like 5 years into marriage, I didn't realize that people think differently than me. And that sounds so stupid, but in real life, I didn't know people didn't think exactly like me, to the point where I'm like, what? Okay, my example. I personally think through why I do every given thing. Like I don't it's not as much gut feeling as it is like intentional thought. For most just any given thing. Like I put my pen down like this for a reason. My wife does not do that. She just does what it's all gut. It's just her gut feeling about things. She'll just do something. So when she couldn't tell me why she would do something, I would be like, "Why are you lying?" Like it's literally nothing. It's just how you put the dishes in like just tell me why. Just why is not a real answer. Like tell me why you did this. So
walk me through the detailed thought out plan
exactly
about why that bowl is near that bowl.
Bro, I'm not even kidding you. That is like we've probably had that exact conversation multiple times. For years we had this like argument, and I'm just like, why are you lying to me? Eventually I realized, wait a second. Not everyone thinks like me? Yeah, isn't that fun? Communication.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it took years.
My communication one is I have what I believe a beautiful home will look like. How I would, what dark, wonderful colors.
Oh my. Uh-oh.
Log cabin situation.
So a bachelor. Okay.
Yeah. Like a well-to-do mansion. And then you have my wife who has a different eye for beauty. we'll call it 3 to 4 years, every single time we talked about decorating, we could not come to a consensus on what our future home should look like.
Uh-huh.
We eventually went to IKEA
Oh my.
and realized we are not using the same. We might use some similar words, but we mean very different things. You want to have a fun conversation? Ask someone who might see colors a little differently to describe a color to you.
Oh, me and my spouse.
Right?
We fight about what green and blue are. I'm not even kidding. I
Oh.
think she's colorblind.
Uh,
Green and blue. Like, these are hard colors.
Blue and teal. Right? Mm-hmm.
Blue and teal are almost the same color. I think your wife's might be right on this one.
No. She was saying they're different.
Oh, they're different. Oh, yeah, no.
Yes,
they're the same color.
There's shades of these, but basically communication.
Yep.
Is it possible that we're just right every time? Likely. But but in the off chance that we're not, we have to embrace that eternal challenge known as the woman.
This really went off the rails for a minute.
Dude, this started out so deep. Like, we went hopelessness and despair and lack of vision. And you gotta pull yourself back and see the larger picture and realize maybe the Lord himself ordained you to be here. And now you're in an IKEA
Arguing about teal.
But actually, the IKEA thing was actually super helpful because it turned out that we actually had a good amount of overlap, but we just couldn't communicate it properly.
Oh.
So I've actually been recommending any couple when they're, maybe at the engagement or just before or after the wedding, go to IKEA.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that way, and they have great options. They pricings by the room. This is not a sponsorship by IKEA, but I would accept it. And it was really great, and oddly enough, reasonably priced.
Oh,
yeah, that's right here. It's from IKEA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is not a coaster, but it is now.
What is it?
This is a thing you put something really, really hot on.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Made a cork.
Yeah, one of those stove things.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I use it as a coaster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, things have multiple uses.
So, Joseph, let me ask you a question.
I'm so concerned. Once again.
How does it feel to be right in 95% of the arguments with your spouse?
I honestly was expecting that number. I mean, it's not an accurate number. It's way too low. But no, it's all about communication. I mean, so maybe it's like this. Maybe you see the facts one way, but when you back out, it actually looks a little different.
Full freaking circle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, honey, I spent the money. Yes, the bank account did go down. But when we look at when we back up, the accounts are going up. This is just a little dip here. Anyway, these are the biggest challenges facing men in 2026. Hopelessness, despair, lack of vision, the future's trash, ability to be distracted by truly remarkable devices, and women. But you can overcome it, and because we're not just a negative podcast, we're a positive podcast, join us Monday when we talk about the greatest advantages that men have in 2026. Enjoy the weekend.